BTC has just been pushing and pushing and pushing. We're about to break the ETF highs from early January. I mean, it's happening again. We are right here. We are totally back right now. So today, guys, what I'm looking at is dominance, number one. We got to pay attention to that. But with that, we're going to look at so many altcoins. I've got ETH for you, Optimism, AVAX, Sol, CAS, Sui, Pendle, Beam, Pyth. We're talking staking things as well. Super and Mavia games we're going to talk about. Looking forward to this one, and maybe some great entries coming this week. Let's get right into this. So always a big shiner when we look at banter bubbles and BTC's been pumping. You can see what's standing out here. Stacks is just cooking again, 7%. You can't look away from Stacks when BTC starts pumping. Did anyone get taken by surprise there? I must say, I wasn't expecting this this little push here so quickly. So let's see in the chats here what you guys are talking about here. Did anyone get caught behind there on that move? Well, I was looking at a couple of entries. I was watching these altcoins start dripping lower for us, and I actually thought we were going to get some entries a bit later on today, but maybe we're going to have to wait another 24 hours. So let's just take a look at the current BTC situation here and just try and figure out how we're going to play this, because the shorters are getting squeezed here, and BTC is heading right now on the 8 hour. I'm watching. Looks like we're going to take out our 51 to 52,000 targets. So right now for me, no reason for BTC to stop here until we start taking out this 50 to 51,000 level. This is a weekly area now that I'm watching. So we've just taken out this high. This is super exciting here. Again, I'm watching BTC on the 8 hour, but what I wanted to show you guys before all this drama started unfolding was potential pullback zones of what I'm looking for and my current plan for BTC, and how I'm going to deal with these altcoins, because we need to have a plan. We can't just ape into these altcoins. So the first thing I wanted to look at and point out for you guys was an area of interest for me, and I have a lot of confluence around this this area here. This is the 236 fib that I like so much, tied in with a trend, and this is 46,500. So for me, this was my prime sort of pullback area that I really like for BTC, and I'm going to show you why I think this is a hot zone. If you pull up the CoinGlass liquidation heat map, you can see we've got this hot area here that hasn't been touched yet at 46,600. So that's tying in as well with a lot of these liquidations. So a nice hot area for me. And again, if we get pulled back to the zone, it's perfectly acceptable here. There's nothing wrong with a little pullback into this area. So that was my first prize. That is what I was watching. Obviously now plans might be changing now that we are squeezing a little bit higher. So we're going to tackle that now. But remember, when BTC is pumping or dumping, one of the things you guys always need to do is just pull up this dominance and try and get to grips with where this dominance could possibly reverse, and where can we get some relief if BTC is pumping on the altcoins, and some more pumpage if BTC is pumping. So the first thing I want to look at here is dominance on the weekly, and this is quite an interesting area that we are heading to right now. So I'm actually expecting some kind of reaction here in the zone, this weekly area here for BTC dominance. So I'm expecting a little push higher into this 54 to 55k region, but this is really what I was looking for today. And I actually was suspecting we were going to get this dominance push on a BTC pullback, but now they've just absolutely sent it. So we're going to have to re-look at the current situation. So what am I looking for now? What I want to see is dominance rejection. That helps the altcoins, obviously. And the hot zone number one that I'm watching is this region here, this 54.7, this sort of area here. And then if we blow through this one, the next big area where we're going to get that rejection for the altcoins for me is going to be this 57% level on dominance. So that is our next zone. If we start blowing through that area, that is the next place we're going to look for some big alt moves. So right now, this area is starting to look like a potential area that could unleash the alts. If we blow through here, that's the next one we're going to be watching. Okay, let's see who is sitting in the chats. Jason is here. He says, sick yet here. Well, I'm glad you made it. Yeah, I've also been under the weather, and I see Simon's in the back. He's also under the weather. So the guys are definitely feeling it. PJ Fox is here. Alex says, pump. Yes, guys, it's all happening. It's a nice way to start a Monday. You know, it's a great way to start the week. Abonay says, sound the bullhorn, and here it is. I still haven't fixed the sound, but it's here. It's here. I got to get it louder. That's basically the bottom line. We've got to get this bullhorn much louder. Yes, Marvia Games is pumping hard. 𝗵𝗂𝗍𝗁𝗍 says BCH pumping hard. Yes, tied in with Bitcoin. Probably a good mover. 𝗬𝗏𝗪𝗠's here. Rud's here. Okay, so the usual crew is here. I see a couple of new names here. Imam is here. Marker is here. So good to have everybody here. So what we're going to do now is just take a look at some of the things floating around on Twitter and things like that. Let's just see what the guys are talking about. Ali Charts, he's a little bit bearish if you want to follow this guy. He's saying a potential correction coming. Again, we don't know how big it's going to be. It could be just a couple of percent, and that could be the move we want that unlocks our alt. So follow Ali Charts if you're not following already. He's a great account to stay in touch with. Here's Joe Biden getting us all excited. We thought he was a Bitcoin maxi, and we were getting pumped, but then we realized it was just had to do with American football. And I think he was just a little bit happy that his team won. But, you know, it's quite nice. It's coincidence that it's tying in with a BTC pump on a Monday. And then we've got JP Morgan, this is the strangest one. And they shorting Coinbase. Now, you know, with all the current crypto sentiment and things floating around for the next 18 months, you know, it's, for me, coin is an absolute long here. And when you see guys like JP Morgan and things like that talking shorting oil, shorting gold, and shorting things like coin, for me, it sounds like, you know, we've got to fade that move and actually trade the opposite. And I was quite relieved to see that 𝗚𝗂𝗲𝗏 actually dropped a coin chart here saying, and he's looking at 225 for coin, and that's Coinbase by the end of Q2. So I must say, I agree with 𝗚𝗂𝗲𝗏. I don't know what games these JP Morgan guys are trying to play here that they think we're going to fall for this move, but long and strong for me. For Coinbase, and long and strong for me over the next, you know, 18 months on crypto things. So I would expect that Coinbase ties in with that. And then a little bit of bullish news floating out here as well. Lots of optimism here. All these articles are coming in. I'm not going to bore you with this, but all these articles are coming in with new highs and all these targets. So very exciting. And yeah, Pomp as well. Also a nice account, says Wall Street loves Bitcoin. So it's all happening out there right now, and no reason to feel bearish right now. You know, we're breaking the highs, we've taken out the ETF highs, and you know, we've got renewed interest in ETH as well. This is happening again, and I mean, Simon's in the back here. He can tell us a little bit about this mode staking narrative and eigenlayer and all these things going on. But basically, what it's telling me is that we need to start really now getting some positions on this ETH, because it's at some point it's going to start running away from us. And this is ETH BTC on the 3-day that I'm watching currently. We had that nice little fake out, if you remember, early January, round about that ETF time. We had that little fake out. Maybe it was a test move for us on this ETH BTC, but right now we're watching ETH BTC drop into a nice horizontal resistance at the same time that we're getting dominance pushing into a horizontal resistance area. So this could be an interesting development here for ETH. If we get a dominance rejection and an ETH BTC bounce at the same time on corresponding horizontals, we might get a nice alt move here. And that is what I'm watching for now. So if you've got your charts in front of you, look at the 0.0505 level. That is a hot zone that we are approaching right now on the ETH BTC. And look at this. ETH is absolutely ripping here. This has taken me by surprise, guys, because you know, a couple of minutes ago the ETH candle did not look like this, and I had a plan for you guys, and you can see I've got my plan. I've still got my plan, and not saying that it's not going to happen, but the idea here, and you know, I stand to be corrected now, was I was looking for that while dominance pumped up, and we were going to be loading up at 2,400 for ETH. So that was the plan. But now, if we have to readjust things, the best thing we can do with a lot of these altcoins, if we're saying these things are blowing, what we can do is put our markers down and find support under our current candles. So what I can give you here is support regions that we can watch now for ETH. So if you want to be long ETH, 2468, that is your support area that you want to watch, and your target zones are going to be this little box here at 26, and then your next high at 2,700. So these are two targets I'm watching right now, and if we start losing the previous low, which has been floating around since Monday, sorry, that's today, since this candle here, Saturday. So that was Saturday's low. So if we start losing that, for me, I'm still looking for buys on ETH down at this 2,400 level if they're going to give it to us. If it's going to run away from us now and you are looking for scalps and you are looking for positions, the best thing I can give you here is support 2468. 2,468 as your current support area that you can watch for ETH, and then you want to take out these targets here, the 2.6 and the 2.7, and then anything's possible. We've got people calling for 4,000 ETH. And if this market's going to turn bull and leave us in the dust here, I would say 3.5 to 4,000 ETH is going to be coming next. So eyes on this and key level. But for me, my still big buy zone 2,400. If we get that, it's a gift on ETH. So watch our 2,400 if they give us that kind of pullback. Guys, I am running a poll at the moment as well. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Okay, so my poll said alts are going to pump first, but BTC must hit 50K, okay, or hit 46K for the alt pump. So my plan was 46K for this alt pump, but 81% of you are saying 50K. Then we're going to get the alt pump. Well, right now, based on the current BTC situation, let's just update one more time here. Let's just look where we are. You guys might be correct. We are pushing. So ideally what we're going to get there then is some kind of push up into this region, and then I'd love to see some consolidation here and even just a retest of these highs. We're going to get something along those lines, and this is going to be the key for us. This consolidation here is going to unlock these altcoins for us. So that's going to be the plan B that we are looking at the moment. So eyes on this now. If we can ping these higher numbers, we're going to look for this consolidation here. We're going to look for that dominance rejection, and then we're back having fun. I mean, that's what we're here for. We just want to trade these alts and have fun. So, okay, another one we're looking at, Farcaster. Now, if you guys remember last week sometime, we were talking about bullishness in optimism, and it had a lot to do with this Farcaster product, and it's saying revenue hit 600,000 during their second wave of attention. So things are pumping for Optimism. There's multiple reasons why Optimism is looking strong, but here it goes again. And I've just jumped in, well, not just, about let's say an hour ago, I jumped into an Optimism long on my 𝗕𝗫𝗓 account. So for those of you who are interested, this is the MATIC trade that I had last week. Last week you also saw I had that bonk trade that we took. So I did take profits on that bonk trade, and now I've jumped into an Optimism long, and my plan here on the Optimism long is to just trade this range. So I was looking for a little move here in this range area. You can see from the lows to the highs, I was looking for about a 16% move on Optimism. And when you see a break like this in these type of situations, when you start breaking horizontals, you can start looking at your support regions under your current candle, as long as it's a big candle. This is an 8-hour candle. So here's the support level here, 3.51, and there's your next support level, 3.44. So my idea here for this trade was just to trade this 15% move. If this market was going to be bullish, I wanted a little bit of this Optimism action. So any pullbacks you can look for, try and look for a bounce here on these horizontals. You can see what they're giving us in this area there, and just look for something along these lines. If they do give a little pullback, that is ideally what you want to grab there on Optimism. It's not it wasn't a massive risk reward trade. It was a 2.89 based on the size of the stock that I allowed myself originally, but as this thing moves up, we're gonna push the stop a little bit higher. So those of you that are interested, 𝗕𝗫𝗓, there is a link in the description. There's tons of sign-up bonuses and things going on there with 𝗕𝗫𝗓. They're also very KYC friendly, and they trade like a lot of these other exchanges that we are all used to. So if you want to have a crack at 𝗕𝗫𝗓, grab the link in the description and take advantage of their various bonuses that they are offering. Let's look at MATIC. Now, this one was front running me. This one was annoying. So here's MATIC on the 12-hour, and you can see what's going on here. We had MATIC drifting back for us today, slowly onto this 382, and I was licking my lips in this region, waiting for it to come dip lower for us. And obviously we've now had to have a change of plans here. But the idea with this MATIC trade was entry in the box. It was a typical trend and 382 retest that we were looking for. But now we can see MATIC is just blowing this 50-day and 100-day moving average. So what we're going to do here is watch your current support, which is 0.819. Look at this area as support. If you are interested in MATIC, Okay, I'm still sitting in my MATIC position from last week that we took on that original entry. But if you are interested in MATIC now, support you need to watch. If this market's going to run away from us, you need to understand your support levels. And the support you're going to watch here for MATIC is 0.819. If we lose that area, then the next most probable zone for me was the original plan, which was the 382 fib at 0.80. So what you're going to do now is watch MATIC. It is pumping, but again, we are pumping into a resistance band here. We do need to understand this zone that we are pushing into. So ideally, you want to see it pop now and find that support. That's going to be the move for us. That's going to be the real test for MATIC now. It's it's all good and well pumping into a resistance zone, but if it rejects here, we're looking at 0.8 again as our potential entry. So let's look at this chart now clean and try and just assess. We've got two options here. So option one, if we get the pullback, my preferred entry zone still remains the same, 0.8. Okay, if MATIC decides to run away from us, the best way you can play this is look for the break of this region and then solid retest. So what you want to do is just be a little bit patient here, because at some point we do get that relief and that little pullback. You want to look for this little move, and then this trade is potentially going to be on off the back of that 50-day moving average giving you support. So what you're going to be looking for is then your support's going to be under the 100-day moving average at around about 0.8352. So that would be the plan. Wait for that break, wait for that retest, and that should give you your entry. If all else fails, we're looking 0.8 again. Simon, what are you thinking here in the back? Is this market running away too early? What's the story here?
It caught me by surprise just a little bit, bro. I was looking at some of the charts, looked like the RSIs were maybe topping out slightly, but you know what these things are like. They sometimes go into the top zone and then they stay there for weeks. So bit of a surprise, man.
Surprising. I'm going to bring Simon back just now, because I want to show you guys what we're doing in Sniper Club is so much more than just a couple of trading signals. So I'm going to bring you back just now. He's going to show us a couple of things that he's been doing for the Sniper Club community. So if you don't know what Sniper Club, it's a paid product. It's the Sniper team. It's me and Sheldon and the entire Sniper crew, and we're in there doing all sorts of things. And Simon is doing some special stuff. And I'm going to get him to tell you guys exactly what it is. But there is a link in the description if you're interested. You can click on that in the meantime. Okay, let's see who is here. Div X-Ray says FOMO is real. Sucker's gonna sucker. Ebony wants some beam. Look, guys, this market is taking off. Let's not panic. Let's just be composed here, and Farah says, I missed entries as I was waiting for pullbacks. Farah, I feel you. We were waiting for these juicy zones. We were so close, and they started front running us. So let's not FOMO. There's always opportunity. There's always second opportunities here. So let's just keep it cool. Okay, Thomas is asking about IMX. Let's see what else we got. Rocking Badger likes the 46K. And it could be another trap, guys, again. So we're going to go through these tokens that I've set these areas for you, and we're going to look at plan A and plan B, so you guys know exactly what to do if it starts turning south. At least then you have your areas of interest. So this is AVAX, and this is the same AVAX trade that we gave last week. And AVAX was tracking back really nicely for us to another potential entry zone and another opportunity in our entry box. And they reversed a little bit early, but I was really excited for grabbing AVAX again at about 36.5. So this plan is still in play for AVAX. 36.5 is still the hot zone that I want to see for AVAX, but we need to have a plan B. And we can see it's very similar to a lot of these other tokens. You can see we've got a nice horizontal zone, and we're going to play it exactly the same way with all these tokens now. If we are breaking horizontal areas, we need to understand we've got to let them break the horizontals, let them pop, and try and find the support first. So plan B here for AVAX. If AVAX is going to stay bullish, it's got to blow this area, and then it can come and consolidate and do all sorts of things here for us. But this is the zone up here where we're going to be looking for our entry. So right now you are pushing into a resistance band. I would be very cautious here at resistance. Let this thing blow through, let it consolidate a little bit, give us a flag, give us something to work with, and then we're going to take on this TP2 region. And again, if BTC wants to reject here and send us down to 46, and let's just pull this up one more time. BTC wants to reject, send us back to this 46,500. That is where we're going to see a lot of these altcoins visiting these little areas that I've been marking for you guys. in these boxes. So AVAX at 36.5. For example, MATIC, just a reminder again, 0.8. Okay, so we need to understand these are areas that we might be picking it up if BTC is going to reject here. So just keep that in the picture. If BTC is running away, doesn't mean it's going to be permanently running away. They could be coming back for us. Okay, another one, a big hitter for you guys. Obviously, when the market starts moving, we need to look at things like AVAX, Sol, MATIC, all these type of guys. And here's Sol again. I've set up a nice little box for you. And you can see they front ran this area the same way they've done with MATIC and with AVAX. They've just jumped a little bit early. But again, hot zone for me. For Solana, massive support area, especially for the spot traders. This is huge now. This is massive support here. 98.5 to 99 is a big horizontal zone. It's a hot zone. It's a leverage trader zone where you're going to pile in here and grab your entries, and you can see why this makes sense to me. It's a nice little break. It's a nice little retest. 50-day moving average, 382, rising trend, and horizontal. So that is going to be the main plan if we can get that. Okay, and plan B, well, we're going to have to look now at a plan B, and let's pull up plan B. So plan B is break of the horizontals. We want to smash these solid areas here, and we want to find some support, and we want to then move this thing higher. So the first thing you're going to look for example here, Sol. If Sol starts pushing hard now and they break this area, we're looking at a potential push to 116 as our next area of interest. So this is what we need to look out for. We need to just look out for this pop here, and we want to just make sure on that pullback, when we do get a pullback, because we're going to get some kind of consolidation, that is going to be our next potential entry area for Solana. So just play it cool here. Let it pop this area if it's going to. Let it blow this 109, 110 region. Let it break this zone. Then we can start looking at potential pullback areas onto that support region that we're going to watch. And then if it's going to pull back, then we're looking at 99, and that is plan A. That is our ideal area where we want to get our entries. Okay, Jammer Pack says Phantom is a sleeping giant. There's a lot of sleeping giants in this crypto market, I must say. It's quite difficult to choose your favorite token when there's thousands and thousands and thousands. FloJ says Mavia is ripping. Thanks for the call on Sniper Club today. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I sent out a message on Sniper Club saying I'm waiting for the big entries for some of these. But while I was looking, we saw a little 1 hour break on the Mavia. So we just pinged everyone there in my section there, in my scalper section, and I dropped that Mavia 1 hour trend break there. So there's a lot happening there in Sniper Club, guys, including little scalper setups. Caitlin says, what is Zeta flying? Dynaway says 50k incoming. Jiffy says injective. Simon says
yo.
There's so much going on here, guys. Okay, we got to just remain composed here and understand our areas and understand what we're getting involved in. Another token that I had for you guys, front running our zone. It looks the same as Sol, it looks the same as AVAX, looks the same as MATIC. They've done us. They've totally done us here, and they front run us with this monster bounce here. We had Phantom moving into a hot zone again. I was licking my lips here. 0.366. That was my hot zone. So put this on your charts, because it doesn't mean we're not coming back here. We could be getting a pump now. If we get a monster rejection on BTC, this is your area you want to be looking at. So plan B now, 0.366. Watch this zone. It's still a hot zone. And now we're going to go plan A is 0.366 that you guys need to keep your eyes on. Plan B, it's the same. It's exactly the same as Solana. It's exactly the same as these other tokens. Now we got to let this thing blow this area. You can see we've got 50-day moving average in front of us. That's a big resistance area, and we are by no means out of the woods yet on Phantom. Until we've blown that area nicely, we need to clear that nicely and find support. 50-day moving average, horizontals, then we can start looking at being a little bit more aggressive on Phantom. So plan B here is a break, 50-day moving average and horizontal. You need to be patient here, and you want to get your support. Call it 0.398. If you can find support at 0.398, then Phantom is going to kick on, and you're going to be targeting this 0.44 region easily on that next push up. If we do get a rejection now on BTC, again, hot zone for me, the same you saw on Solana and all these other tokens, 0.366. Guys, let me know in the chat. Is anyone caught by surprise? I mean, this thing has happened. It's happened here while I've been prepping for the show live for you guys. I was going to give you all these entries. And were you caught by surprise? I mean, it's quite tricky trying to dish out a show here when BTC catches us by surprise. Let me know in the chats how you guys are feeling here. Let's see. Raymond says almost. Crypto Putty's looking for an entry on Atom. Nuno's looking at Beam. I've got Beam for you guys. And yeah, BU, the full U says got caught out. Yeah, guys, it took a lot of us. That's classic crypto, isn't it? They're going to catch us by surprise a lot. Let's look at our next one that I've got for you. Let's pull up Beam, actually, now that everyone's talking about it. Let's look at this Beam gaming narrative. And I do have a target for you guys on Beam, and we have broken a nice little area now. So those of you that are sitting in Beam at the moment, we've got a nice fat target for you, 0.0367. That is a nice area that Beam looks like it wants to hit. And nothing really going to stop that at the moment. It's looking very bullish here. And what I would suggest is just eyes on your main support region. So you're going to watch this region that we've just broken. So your 0.027, okay, that is your region you want to be watching now for support. You want to see that that holds, and that should take you, Beam traders, to the 0.0337 region. And just make sure you're looking at some kind of TP in that area. That is definitely going to be a TP zone. That's the 1.618. Now remember, that's full science here. We're pulling fibs. We're pulling a fib extension here to try and give us a potential target for an altcoin. So we don't have any other levels to work with other than a 1.618, but we do know that they like to react in these areas. So that is my target for Beam. Support areas you want to watch, just to clarify again, 0.027 and a little bit lower down. I actually prefer this region here. You can see why. A lot of horizontals here, making sense to us. 0.0232. So that's a hot zone. 0.0232. So even anything, even this area looks good, and something like that could look good for us. Both of them make sense, especially for the spot traders. Aaron says 50K is coming. Exciting. Let's see what else we got. Questions on Gala. Matthew says he's finished work just in time to catch the pump. Aaron says he loves the banter fan. Love to the banter fan. Okay, let's see what else we got. So, Cass. Let's bring Simon up here. I know he's going to be gloating. Okay, talk to me.
I am gloating a little bit, but I've also got it out on the screen at the moment. I'll be interested to see what you think. Do you think we're hitting a upper limit, and we do a...
Okay. So here's my story.
This is
what I think is going to happen. Link sat in a range for 3 months, okay, and then absolutely blew out. Okay, Cass sitting in a range 3 months, November, December, January. I think this thing's going. Honestly, I think it's going to blow this region now, and then they're going to send this thing. And we're going to be looking and praying for entries on support. So I think they're going to do something like that. Okay. And we're going to be looking for entries there. So that's what I think is going to happen. But that is just based on what's happened to Link. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, do you want to bring my screen up real quick? Cool.
Now, for those of you that don't know, Simon loves Cass, and he's the first one to tell you that he basically bought the bottom of Cass. So if you wonder what you mean,
I don't know what you mean.
He literally bought the bottom, the absolute bottom. Okay.
So, well, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, we've got this line which we established back in November. So, like you say, it's 3 months. It's the same as what you've drawn. The thing is, when I chart like this, I kind of expect some sort of visit, maybe not to the line, but like you said, there's this area here which is in line with these, basically, which I think makes more sense. And obviously, if we look at the charts at the moment, the market 𝗖𝗕 has been very over sort of bought. We have come down a bit, but price has pushed up, so there will be some divergence in there somewhere. Lux algo showing a retrace as well in the RSI, and yet we're still going up. So, you know, it's hard to know, but looking at this, there was a lovely long. I mean, if you caught this long, you'd have been, let's say, halfway out the candle. Look at that, straight away to now.
We got one of those in Sniper Club. We just waited in that long. for ages.
Is that still running, that trade?
No, that TP was at that horizontal. So
okay,
yeah.
just here, right? Yeah. So if you'd have managed to catch the 𝗚𝗚𝗪𝗀𝗪 trade, you'd have actually been 35% up here on a 1x, which is crazy. And it has given us a TP. So arguably, hindsight is a great thing in the market. But looking at the 𝗚𝗚𝗪𝗀𝗪 trade, we've got a long, we've got a TP. We have got an area here now where it's kind of leveling out just a little bit. It's obviously found this area of resistance. So what might we see? We might see a little bit more of this. We might see a second X, and then we may well get this retrace, at which point we'll get one of these. So it makes sense to me to have a short here and a buy here, you know?
You want a short?
No. As in where we are now. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not planning to short. I don't short a bullish market. There's no way. But what I would expect to see is one of these.
Yeah.
And then the move to retrace back to this sort of, you know, this area here. Where
what I've learned from experience,
yeah,
when BTC is pumping like that, you don't try and short it. You just step out the way. You let it do what it wants to do, and including the altcoins, you let them do what they want to do. You don't try and be smarter than the market. Let them do their thing, and let's just wait. Let's wait patiently for the pullback. So so again, just my view on cash. So ideally, we want the buy exactly where you said, 0.13. Okay, we know that. Yeah. That is like first prize. That's where we're going to be longing. At Sniper Club, we're going to be pushing out signals there at 0.13. But because of this range that we've had here, and if it's anything like Link, we saw what Link did. It just blew. And there was nothing stopping it. So I would say watch out both scenarios here. I would be very cautious trying to short this. If you're sitting in longs here on CAS, maybe just hold something, you know, TP here. We know it's resistance, but if we're using Link as an example, this might have a little bit more legs. And again, pullbacks for adding, pullbacks for buys, 0.13 is our hot zone that we want to grab there.
Definitely.
Okay, let's see what else is. Who else is here? Rocket Badger, totally shocked, liking his alt bag. Look, it's a nice shock, right? So you know, those of you that were in some of these trades that we gave last week, then we're cooking. But now, if you're looking for new entries, we just need to be patient. Here's another one. Okay, Injective. Another one, staking narrative. There's tons of this. Okay, and we're going to talk about Simon and his staking that he's been doing in Sniper Club for us. But again, just another example. Injective staking. Get ready for some noise. NOIS. They're taking snapshots. All these reasons to own Injective, to be staking Injective. Same thing with Celestia, Pyth, Sui, all these tokens. And you know, we've got to start looking and understanding areas and entries on a lot of these tokens. So Injective fans, if you're trading Injective, this is Injective on the 12-hour that I would that I'm watching here. And big area coming up, big resistance zone coming up here for Injective. So the bulls, you need to be a little bit more patient here. If you're really running high leverage things, you got to blow this 50-day, the 618, the trend, the horizontal, massive area here, and that's going to give us our real trade into 44.5. So that is going to be a nice little area here for us. If you're interested in building a position, what I can give you is some support you can work with. So you can see that they've held Injective here on this 382 at 34. So watch 34 as your first line of support. Eyes on that area as a potential zone, and a wick to potentially the 618 at 33. So you know, if they do want to reverse us here, look out 34. Look out for a wick into that 618. That's always a hot zone on some of these altcoins. So let's keep our eyes on that. But right now, Injective pushing resistance. Injective fans, you need to let this thing decide what it wants to do, especially if you're running high leverage. If you're running spot, you should be okay at you know, grabbing any type of entry in the zone. We know we've got major support down around 29. We know that's a huge area, and the market is looking absolutely terrible if we are losing 29 on Injective. But high leverage traders, you need to be greedy with your entries, and best zones for you is pullbacks to 34, or you're waiting for that pop first, and then you want to see that pullback onto 36 for your support area. So just be greedy with your entries, because if they give you a reversal and it comes as a surprise and you are trading high leverage, you can get absolutely rinsed there. And you don't want to have to go around telling people you got rinsed during a pump. I mean, that's the worst. You know, that's the worst story, getting rinsed during a bull run. So you need to be careful here. Okay, another one I've got.
I'm just going to say with injected, Dylan, there's 2 order blocks as well, which is a 20% move to the upside from where we are now. And Market Cipher and Lux Algo are both bullish. So we could very easily punch up into that 40 range quite easily.
So Simon's got 2 indicators saying they are looking bullish. So what I can suggest here then is use this 34 as your support marker. So if you want to ladder into a position, you can look for something along these lines. So you could start laddering in, look for pullbacks onto 34. Okay, right now it's from this entry to 34, it's 3.5%. So that's your risk currently. And if you want to ladder in, you can start jumping in. Again, ideally what you want is the pop. Then you can always add on the retest, and then we can get that move there to the top, 44, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I got. Yeah.
Okay, so let's look out for that. Right now, your risk, if you're laddering into entry now, your risk is 3.5% on injective for spot traders. If you leverage, remember, times your leverage by your percentage there, and that's going to give you an idea. Another staking narrative, guys, Pyth stakers again. Just tell us quickly the story, because you actually called this Pyth for us.
I love Pyth. Before Pyth was a thing, not before it was a thing, but before everybody and their dog were jumping into it, we kind of came across this in Sniper Club that the epochs ran from a Thursday to midnight basically. And what we were noticing that before the lockup period, the price was going up. So we obviously did our research. We staked Pyth. You can also link your EVM wallets. There's instructions in Sniper Club how to do that now. By staking Pyth, you don't just qualify for anything Pyth drops. You now have got access to 𝗕𝗛𝗔 Finance. There's been a few more on Sniper Club. I can't actually recall what they are off the top of my head, but there's been like 4 or 5 now with Pyth that as long as you stake it, you get these other rewards. And the chart has been since the 8th of January, which is obviously over a month. Yeah. It's just been up only. It's been bouncing on this diagonal the whole way. And there's, yeah, exactly. But it's the same thing with all the staking narratives. It's been going since the start of the year, and there doesn't seem to be any real sign of letting up. There's a lot more coming. I mean, what you just had on the screen, I spoke to you about it this morning. I know of about another 25 protocols that are all launching with ETH, Sol, or Cosmos. Therefore, all 3 of these tokens should do very well.
So guys, listen to this man. He's wise. Okay, remember, he told you to buy Pyth. He told you that story. And here's Pyth climbing the ladder again. We've seen this look on Pendle. We've seen it on Celestia. We've seen it on so many of these charts where they just start getting the staking momentum. And, you know, at some point, the staking narrative comes to an end. At some point, people maybe realize they're not really getting the dollars that they thought. But, you know, while this thing is hot and while it's running, we're going to dance while the music's playing, right? And we're going to carry on this area. So what I would say here for Pyth, watch your rising trend. We are bullish on Pyth until you lose your rising trend. Look for entries, and you want to just play any pullbacks into these nice little hot zones that you get on Pyth. You're looking for potential entries. So your first support here, 0.53. That's a nice little area. And a little bit lower down, 0.50. And a very simple process. If we get a little bit of this, okay, and maybe Pyth then sends it higher later during the week, or if we start losing it, we lose that trend, then things start turning bearish, and then we change our strategy on Pyth. But right now, you know, bullish Pyth, rising trend, let's play the trend game, and you know, we'll ride this thing up. I'm staking Pyth. I've got Pyth, and you know, no reason for me to quit that party until it starts falling over, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you one other little fact. I called on the 12th of January a spot buy, so a spot long, if you like, on Pyth. We're now 109% up from that call. And I didn't stake all of it. I purposely left some out to play with. The second we break that diagonal, the portion that I left out, I will sell, but I've doubled my bag. So,
okay, so while we're on the staking narrative, I just wanted to show you guys. So Sniper Club, for those of you guys that don't know about Sniper Club, it's Simon is in the Sniper team, and this is our airdrop section. We have a section here where people are taking advantage of these airdrops. If you know nothing about airdrops, okay, and anything like that, You just need to go and follow Simon's section here under airdrops in 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Club, and he's giving you a whole explanation. He's telling you step by step what to do, how to make your money, all these things. Tell me what you guys did with Dime. How much did you make on Dime for everybody?
So I haven't asked everybody what they made because I wouldn't presume to guess, but I've calculated it's over about $120,000 just for the guys that I know that claimed.
And they just followed steps. They didn't have to pay anything. They just followed steps and staking and whatever.
And do you know what's really great about it? It was off the back of the 𝗬𝗫𝗀 airdrop, which obviously I was pushing as well. And that was off the back of the Atom airdrop some time back. People just had to stake Atom like a year ago or 6 months ago. And there's just this snowball effect of free money. It went from Atom to 𝗬𝗫𝗀. It's gone 𝗬𝗫𝗀 to Dimension. Dimension's got I forgot the name of it. Sorry, it's escaped me at the minute. There's some extra airdrops coming from this. It's just a snowball that keeps growing, and it's not just this one. We've got Solana ecosystem, we've got the Ethereum, we've got the Pendle and the Eigenlayer, narrative. There's the Mode network, which is a new L2. It's just a lot going on,
Okay, so if you want to learn about trading, you join the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Club. If you want to learn about airdrops, you join the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Club. Because Simon is there, he's got your back, and he's going to take you through that process, and he's going to basically show you how to make free money. Okay, link is in the description for 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Club if you want a piece of that. And those of you that are in 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Club that don't know about it, that weren't interested, really, it's worth it. Get stuck in there, read the airdrop section, follow his messages, and take advantage of that. Really, guys, it's a couple of minutes of your time. You open a wallet, you do this, you do that, next thing.
They're all different, but there's instructions there. One guy made 5 years worth of 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Club payments just off one airdrop, and we've dropped 20 airdrops, So that's good.
There you go. Okay, let's get back into the juicy stuff. Okay, so 𝗏, you guys know about. The next one I've got, Dime. I just want to update Dime. We've got questions in the chat here about Dime. So we know the guys are locking this up. The APR was 60% or something along those lines.
It's down at 28 now, and the only reason it's down at 28 is because it's now become a more common protocol. People are using it. A lot more people know about it. And to be honest with you, I'd like to think that it stays north of 23, 24, and that's a really great return,
Okay, so that explains also why it slowed down. So it was 67%. Everyone was buying it. It was pumping. Now it's 20 odd percent. Okay, so maybe it slows down because people in crypto think 20% is shit. They like 2x, 3x, 5x. Okay, so that explains Dime. What we can do, if you're in Dime, look for your support level, 6.89 or 6.9. That is your region that you want to watch. You can see what they've done here. They've come and pinged it once. They've pinged it twice. So watch this area here. Maybe you're looking for something along these lines. Let's see how Dime progresses. Maybe Simon will do an update there in the airdrop section and just tell you what's going on and give you some more info on that one.
Definitely.
Okay, let's see. Nekos says, is it too late to stake 𝗏? No, absolutely not.
No, we're just getting started. We're just getting started, by the way. So all of the links are in 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Club, but this one is pyth.network is the link. Just one word of warning. When you guys go on Google and you search these things, don't ever click a sponsored link because there'll be one letter wrong and it'll be a copy by scammers and you'll lose all your money. So always go to their Twitter account and click on the official link. Always. Seriously. Can't.
Yeah. Scammers in crypto. Careful. Okay, next one I've got 𝗬𝗍. Geez, we got so many 𝗬𝗍 all-time highs again. Okay, so this during the bleed out today, we had so much strength from 𝗬𝗍. It was just hanging there. It was just holding this 4% move all day long. And 𝗬𝗍, I'm still long 𝗬𝗍. And no reason for me to exit the 𝗬𝗍 position as well. And what I'm watching here is 1.65. That's a big area. And same play. We've got the rising trend that we can pay attention to. And no reason to do anything here with 𝗬𝗍 until we start losing the trend. So we'd look for something along those lines. And if we lose the trend, we can start turning bearish and look lower down. But there's warnings that staking rewards are coming on 𝗬𝗍. We just don't know what it is yet, right?
Correct. Yep. So, and there's a load of airdrops going to be confirmed as well. So it's exactly the same. We're currently, let me just give you a number. We are currently 44% up from the spot call I made to everyone. Go buy 𝗬𝗍 and stick it in your wallet. 44% up on that one as well.
Okay, so yeah, staking narrative, 𝗬𝗍, rising trend, nothing to change here. We still keep going on that one. Then Super, okay, we called this one last week. I had Virtual Bacon. Hey, what a legend. Did you watch that show?
Amazing.
He's such a legend. So we were talking about Super, and I think this next level Super trade is now on. Okay, so we nailed the first one. The first one was the break of range and into the highs, and we were comparing that to Link as well, because it was in a range for quite a while. It was in a range for 2 months. Okay, and we got our move. We got our 25% move this weekend, and now Super, we're looking for the 45% play into the next range. So that is our next trade. What I would say here, this is the weekly candle. So you want to watch support, and you want to watch your lows at the moment. So your lows are 0.8345. Okay, this is the weekly stuff. So this is for a spot position, and you looking for this move now to the 1.22 region. That's the area you want to target, and your support you've got is the weekly low. That's this morning's low, 0.83, and lower down then we've got 0.75. So these are two big support areas that you can mark on your charts, that if we start losing those areas, then we start looking sad. We start looking deeper and darker, and the market's not right. Things aren't right when we start losing big areas like that. So watch these zones, call it 0.84 and 0.75, and then your target, your upside target, 1.22. That's your upside target, looking for about a 40% move there into that zone. Let me know, guys, in the chats, who got the Super last week. I know we were speaking about a lot of charts last week on Friday, but let me know if you guys took advantage of that Super. Then I've got one more. Okay, Beam we've covered. Let's look at this. Let's just check into this 𝗕𝗫𝗂. This was flavor of the month. When was it? Last week it was pumping.
It's been flavor of the month for at least a month. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so is this 𝗕𝗫𝗂? What do we call this thing?
Heroes of 𝗕𝗫𝗂.
Heroes of 𝗕𝗫𝗂. Okay,
I might be saying it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm saying here, but here's our little trend break. We had that earlier in Sniper Club. We saw that little trend break. If you're looking for supports, this is what you want to watch. You want to look for horizontals tied in with fibs and things like that. If you're trying to get into a moving trade, this is the 1 hour. So remember, we are turning a little bit degen here. If we are starting to trade 1 hour candles and things like that, your risk profile, your risk starts coming up a little bit more, and you start taking risks here. So let's just identify the levels. Okay, the best one I've got for you is you can play on this 382. So watch this low where they swept us down here, 7.6, and look out for the horizontal. Call it 7.8. Okay, 7.8 and 7.6. These are big areas that you want to watch for Heroes of 𝗕𝗫𝗂. Let's just see where we rejected here. Okay, no, we're good there. Okay, so watch your supports here. You've got that. If you want to take advantage of this, or at least try, that is what you're playing with. Alex says, CHD, please, CHZ, please, Uncle Dylan.
Chili's
And CHD. I've got one more for you guys. I've got to show you. Okay. Here's a potential trade, okay, on a listing. Okay, FLOKI.
Ooh.
Rumors, okay? Listed on Coinbase, or getting listed on Coinbase. Okay. Now FLOKI's been quiet. FLOKI's been dead. FLOKI, Doge, silent. Okay, there might be a trade here. This is FLOKI on the daily. Okay, there might be a trade into the Coinbase listing. Let's look at some support areas to watch. You can see what they've done here. Here's our dailies. They're holding us. Okay, so if you're looking for a potential trade here, Coinbase listing, you want to identify potential highs that we can take out on FLOKI. Okay, first one is this 3368 that I would watch. Let's just see the size of that move. And then we got another nice one here. Could get a nice wick into 3.5. Okay, so that the potential move on offer here. Let's look at this risk play. Okay, so your risk is about 3% if you're entering now, and your upside to the high, again, we could go a lot higher than that, is 14%. And then we can start taking out areas a little bit higher up. We can start looking at wicks up here and things like that. 37. So there's potentially a trade here on FLOKI. Okay, it's literally rumor mill. Okay, there's no guarantees that it's been that it is going to happen, but Coinbase listing could be bullish for something like FLOKI, and that could give you a little, call it 15 to 20 odd % potentially here on FLOKI. Lloyd says, any thoughts on COTI? Well, COTI's bounced off a nice big level. We've been watching that one closely. I think, if you can grab an entry on COTI on a nice horizontal, you'll be okay. But it had a monster pump, but it also had a monster rejection. So just careful. These things, they move hard in both directions, and you don't want to get caught on the wrong side there. So just make sure you're playing good areas.
I'm looking at COTI myself today, actually. It's just in a descending, I'm only on the 15-minute. It's in a proper descending channel, and it's right at the very top of the channel as well. So I'm looking to see if it breaks out or rejects again.
Yeah, I mean, it had a monster pump. It was due some kind of pullback. So, it's, and then it dropped onto a weekly level. I actually saw it. I was looking at it earlier today.
It was a 15% move. It's good.
Okay, if you guys like chilies, this is a potential buy here for you. Okay, this is chilies on the weekly. This is your potential buy area. Okay, yeah, this is a weekly support for chilies. You can be long here with your exit under the close under the previous week's low, 0.0976. Okay, you lose that region, and things are turning south for chilies, and you don't want to be sitting in the trade. So you're looking anything under close under that weekly, so 0.092727. Okay, you start losing that area, looking a bit dark for chilies, but upside, you can't ignore the upside here. Look at that. We've got a nice area there that we can come and visit, and then there is one more area a little bit higher. So yeah, chilies looking good. Okay, Simon, thanks for hanging.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, bro. Okay, guys, took us a little bit by surprise there, that BTC move. Didn't go quite according to plan, but again, now you've got the levels. You've got plan B and you've got plan A. So just let things play out. If your altcoins are sitting at resistance areas now, just resist that urge to start jumping in, because imagine if BTC rejects hard here at this 50K level. Where's that going to lead you? You're going to get absolutely rinsed on these altcoins. So rather, let's just be patient, let it blow the resistance zone. Let's find some support first, then you can start laddering in. And the exception there was Super, and I think it was Injective, which was a possible entry down into that 34 region that you could start playing around it. But again, just exercise caution. FOMO is your worst enemy. You don't want to start a Monday off with some FOMO there, and then they reverse us. So be patient. Tomorrow we're going to reassess where we are, and we're going to look for entries again tomorrow. If we have to pull out the 15-minute candles tomorrow, we're going to pull them out. Okay, we're going to get those entries for you. So just play safe, be cautious here, guys. Watch your big areas. Plan A is still my favorite, the lower down areas. But again, we're going to adapt as we go, and we'll do what the market wants us to do, and we're going to do what we have to do. Okay, see you guys tomorrow.